Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss negative sentences. Negative sentences. Negative sentences are negative by nature. These sentences have no or not in them. For example, I am not studying. So here the word not has been used. Rohan was not hungry. Again, the word not has been used here. That means negative sentences are always framed with some negative word in them. Sentences are of two kinds, positive sentences and negative sentences. Today we are going to learn how to change positive sentences into negative sentences. But before that, we need to know what is the difference between them. Let's see. Positive sentences are always positive by nature. Negative sentences are negative by nature. Positive sentences do not have any negative words in them like no or not. Negative sentences have negative words like no or not in them. Now let's take an example. Children like to play. Let us change it into negative. Children do not like to play. Observe carefully here. The word not has been added here to make it negative. Let's take another example. I am going. That's a positive sentence. I am not going. The word not has been added here. That means it is a negative sentence. So the basic difference between positive sentences and negative sentences is positive sentences will never have no, not, neither, never in them, and negative sentences will always have them. Now we are going to learn how to frame negative sentences. For that, I have divided the kinds of sentences into various different categories. And we are going to deal with each category one by one. And I'm going to tell you how to change positive sentences into negative. The first one, changing positive statements which are having helping verbs in them into negative statements. For that, you just have to read the sentence and find out the helping verb in the sentence. Now, first of all, we need to discuss what a helping verb is. A helping verb helps the main verb. That is, it is used with the main action verb in the sentence to give a better meaning to the sentence. For example, is, am, are, was, were, has, have, can, could, shall, should, may, might, all these are helping verbs and there are many more there. You just have to find the helping verb in the sentence and write not after the helping verb, and your sentence will be changed into negative. Let us take an example for better understanding. I am playing. Let us find the helping verb over here. Yes, I've underlined it for you. It is am. This am is a helping verb in this sentence and it is used with the main verb, that is playing. I am playing. Am is the helping verb and we will use the word not immediately after the helping verb and it will get changed to negative. I am not playing. So see how easily I have changed my sentence into negative. Now let us take one more example. It may rain today. Here the helping verb is may. And we just have to identify the helping verb and use the word not after that. And our sentence will get converted into negative. So we will write, it may not rain today. Another one for you. We can dance. The helping verb here is can. Just add the word not after that and your sentence will become negative. We cannot dance. So, to change positive statements which have helping verbs in them, we just have to identify the helping verb and add not after that. And your sentence will become negative. It's very simple. Moving on to the next category, that is imperative sentences. How to change imperative sentences into negative sentences. What are imperative sentences? Imperative sentences are the sentences which express command, order, request, or advice. So we are going to learn how to change positive imperative sentences to negative imperative sentences. Here, all you have to do is to find the verb in the sentence, that is, the action word in the sentence, and use do not or don't, which are both the same, before the verb. I repeat, find the verb in the sentence and use do not just before the verb, and your positive imperative sentence will change into negative. Let's take an example here. Write fast. That's an order. So here you have to find the verb. Verb here is write. So we will just use the word do not before write and your sentence will change into negative. Write fast will become do not write fast. Let us take another example. Pluck these flowers. What is the verb here? Pluck. We will use do not right before pluck and our sentence will become negative. Pluck these flowers will become do not pluck these flowers or don't pluck these flowers. Another example I have here. Open the door. What is the verb here? Open. And we just have to use do not before that. That means do not open the door and our sentence has become negative. I repeat, to change imperative sentences into negative, we just have to use the word don't before the verb and your sentence gets converted into negative. Moving on to the next category, that is simple present tense. So we're going to learn how to change sentences in simple present tense into negative sentences. Use do not or does not with the root form of the verb. Now, you must be wondering, what is the root form of a verb? It is very simple. Root form is the base form of the verb. For example, plays. What is the root form of plays? It is play. Let's take another example. Sleeps. The root form of sleeps is sleep. Let's take another example. Goes. What is the root form of this verb? Goes. It is go. That means using the verb in its base form. Root form means the first form of verb. Any verb which is in its base form, the action, what we call that action, is the base form. For example, slept. What is the base form of this verb slept? It is sleep. Eats. Base form is eat. So you just have to change the verb into its root form, that is base form, and use do not or does not just before it, and your sentence will change into negative sentence. Just don't worry. Just to make learning simple for you and to help you in changing simple present sentences into negative, I have simplified this work into 6 simple steps. You have to follow these steps one by one and your sentence will automatically change into negative. The first step. Find the verb in the sentence and bring it to its root form. Find the subject. I hope you remember what a subject is. Subject is the doer of action. Find the subject and observe it. Identify whether it is singular or plural. Write does not or do not before the verb. But how do we use does not and where do we use do not? It all depends on the subject. If your subject is singular, use does not before the verb. And if your subject is plural, use do not just before the verb. Always remember, I and you, they are two naughty words who don't listen and don't follow any rule. They always use do not with them. I repeat, they always use do not with them. Let us revise once again. You have to follow these steps one by one to change simple present sentence into negative. Step number 1. Just find the verb and bring it to its root form. Then find the subject and identify whether it is singular or plural. If the subject is singular, use does not before the verb. And if the subject is plural, use do not before the verb. And if your subject is I or you, just use do not. That's all you have to do and your sentence will change into negative. Let us have a look to the given examples now. Just follow the 6 simple steps that I told you to change these positive sentences into negative. The first one here is Sohan sings well. Step number 1. Find the verb here. The verb here is sings. Change it into its root form. Sings will become sing. Step number 2. Find the subject. The subject over here is Sohan. Is it singular or plural? Sohan is just one, so it is singular. And as I told you, with singulars we use does not. So you will write Sohan does not sing well. Just write does not before the verb, that is sing. Let us move on to the next one. They play outside. What is the verb here? Yes, it is play. Play is already in its root form. There is no extra addition to it. So play will remain play. Now find the subject. The subject over here is they. And they is used for plurals, means more than one. That means your subject is plural. And with plural subject, we use do not. So you will use do not before your verb, that is play. And your sentence will become, they do not play outside. The next one, I go to school. Find the verb here. The verb is go. And go is already in its root form. So you don't need to change it. Go will remain go. What is the subject here? Yeah, the subject is I. And you remember my step number 6. It said, in case of I, you will just use do not. So, your sentence will become, I do not go to school. It's simple. Another one for you. You make mistakes. What is the verb here? Yes, it is make. Make is not having anything extra here. It is already in its root form. So make will remain make. Now find the subject here. Yes, the subject is you. Again, just follow step number 6. Step number 6 says, in case of you, you will have to use do not. So your sentence will become, you do not make mistakes. See how simple it is. Just follow the steps and your sentences will change into negative. Let us now learn how to change simple past tense sentences into negative sentences. Use did not with the root form of the verb, just like we were using do not or does not with the root form of the verb in the previous sentences. Now we are going to use did not with the root form of the verb. Root form of a verb is its base form. That is, no extra addition to the verb. For example, played will become play. Slept will become sleep. Went will become go. Similarly, whatever your verb given there is, we just have to bring it back to its root form, that is the first form of the verb. And just add did not before the verb and your sentence will get converted into negative sentence. Just to make this conversion process simple for you, I have divided it into 3 simple steps. We will follow these steps one by one and our sentence will get changed into negative. Step number 1. Find the verb in the sentence and bring it to its root form. Step number 2. Just write did not before the verb, that is the root form of the verb. Here we do not have to think about singular or plural subject. Whether your subject is singular or plural, you just have to use did not. And by doing these 3 simple steps, your sentence gets changed into negative. Let us see how. Aryan wrote neatly. Just find the verb here. Yes, I've already underlined here it for you. It is wrote. What is the root form of this verb wrote? Yes, it is write. So, wrote will now become write. And add did not just before write. And rest of the sentence remains the same. So, your answer is Aryan did not write neatly. Let's try another one. Children watched a nice movie. What is the verb here? Yes, it is watched. What is the root form of this verb watched? It is watch. So, just bring the verb back to its root form and add did not. Rest, everything remains the same. And your sentence will become, children did not watch a nice movie. Let's see another one. We made a chart. Here the verb is made. And what is the root form of this verb? Make. You remember we've learnt it. Make, made, made. Yes. So make is the first form of verb here. Just add did not before make and your sentence gets changed to negative. So your sentence will become, we did not make a chart. I hope with these 3 simple steps, you'll easily be able to change your sentence into negative. Practice time now. But before that, let us have a quick revision of what all we have learned. You have learned how to change normal sentences having helping verbs in them into negative. How to convert imperative sentences into negative and simple present tense sentences into negative. And that is the most simplest, how to change simple past tense sentences into negative. Now let us use all of them together. So the first one here for you is Sam was hungry. Just read the sentence and see, is it having a helping verb? Oh yes, it has. Was. So in that case, we just need to add not after the helping verb and your sentence will become negative. So your answer is Sam was not hungry. Let's see the next one. Run in the corridor. Is this sentence having a helping verb? No. Is it an imperative sentence? Yes, it is. So, in imperative sentences, we just have to use do not before the verb. So, we will write do not run in the corridor and your sentence has become negative. The next one, I can bake well. Do we have a helping verb here? Yes, can is the helping verb. And you know what to do? All you need to do here is to add not after the helping verb. I cannot bake well. It's so simple. The next sentence, he works hard. Do we have a helping verb here? No. Is it an imperative sentence? No. This is a simple present tense sentence. And here you have to follow step number 1. That is to find the verb and bring it to its root form. The verb here is works. What is its root form? It is work. And now step number 2. What is the subject here? Subject is he and that is singular. With singular subject, we use does not. So your answer will be he does not work hard. Let's try the next one. They did their work. This does not have a helping verb and it is not an imperative sentence. So what is the verb here? It is did. That's in past tense. That means it is a simple past tense sentence. And the verb is did. So bring it back to its root form. That is do. And in simple past tense sentences, you don't have to bother about the subject. You simply have to write did not. So your answer will be they did not. And what is the verb? I told you did will become do. So your answer will be they did not do their work. Hey, don't make that mistake. Just don't think you just have to add not here. No, did not will come with the root form of the verb that is do. Let's try the next one. Simran goes for a walk. This does not have a helping verb. It is not an imperative sentence. And the verb here is goes. Goes is in simple present tense. That means we have to now check the subject. And the subject is Simran. That is again singular. So that means we have to use does not here. So your answer will be Simran does not go for a walk. So, well, I'm sure by now you all are clear how to convert sentences into negative. Well, now I'm sure you all must have learned how to change sentences into negative. You all can practice on your own and convert sentences into negative. Thank you. Bye for now.